welcome to the Corn Corner podcast. I am Wren.
And I'm Cam, and this isn't a fun fact, but more of a would you rather. Would you rather have gills or webbed feet to assist in swimming, both of which the mariner has in Waterworld?
Wow. I think I would like to have gills.
And knowing that the gills are visible behind your ears, like they're like right there on the sides of your neck. That's cool.
Yeah, I think that there's actually a large amount of our listeners that would embrace that look and really like it.
Yeah. Also, because it's far more useful than having webbed feet help you swim a little bit faster.
That
So
is true.
you can buy flippers, you can't buy gills.
That's one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. You can buy flippers, but you can't buy gills. And speaking of things that you can't purchase, we're going to tell you about what's been up for the past couple months in which we've been taking a break. Today, the topic today is called Recap, the Corn Corner.
Recap, much like the melted ice caps that caused the entire plot of Waterworld to happen.
Is that really what happens in that movie?
Yeah, it's something like that. The polar ice caps melted and caused the world to be covered in water.
Why are you saying something like that? You should know this.
I said I do, and I said what I said.
It seems as if have you seen the movie?
Many times. At least,
What's the
5.
runtime on that baby?
I don't know, probably like 136 minutes, something like
I
that.
love that. Those are some of the best
I
length
gotta
of
Google
movie.
it.
Anyway, so we've been up to some stuff, and we thought we'd give you a little hello and tell you what we've been up to. Lots of life things that have happened. Cam's gonna fill us in on some life stuff that's happened. I'll
It's
fill you in.
135 minutes. I just have to say that.
You were close.
I was correct.
Well,
I was 1 minute off.
You're right, and I think sometimes if you don't watch the credits, you would be right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there
Anyway,
a scene at the end of the movie
continue.
after the credits?
I don't. That's like not a thing. Like that. I mean, it was a thing before Marvel, but like suddenly Marvel did that, and everyone thinks that every goddamn movie is gonna have some scene after the credits.
Yeah.
And it annoys the shit out of me, to be honest,
You just leave.
as a filmmaker.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause-
like if you want people to see stuff, put it there.
You made it seem like people are always hounding you about, we loved the movie, we thought it was great, but there was nothing after the credits in your movie, and we wish that there was.
No end credit scene
Why don't you put
to
your
my movie
bloopers?
specifically.
Why don't you put bloopers at the end?
I love when they do that, but that has to be abutted right to the end of the movie ends and credits are rolling as bloopers play is what people need to do.
So you're saying that there cannot be... Oh, you mean that there's bloopers while the credits are going?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Do you remember how
I can't just if it goes black, we're leaving.
Yeah. Do you remember how in Toy Story they did the bloopers?
I guess vaguely.
At the end of
haven't
Toy
seen the
Story
first one in a long
and
time.
Monster Inc., there are bloopers. And I watched
Oh, okay. I feel like yes.
I watched a Pixar iceberg video, and it was really funny because it looked at those, and they were like, it added a bunch of context to the worlds, and it's actually pretty scary.
Yeah,
because
awesome.
A Bug's Life also has bloopers, and when you think about the context, it's unsettling. Let's just say that.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The context of what?
You got to watch the video, but essentially it's just like who the crew is for the Bug's Life ones and who the crew is for the Toy Story ones. It's pretty funny.
Aren't they like the Bug's Life is just other bugs and the
That's
Monsters
right.
Inc. is other monsters and
Yeah, but
yeah.
what about Toy Story? Who's the crew for Toy Story?
It's other toys. What do you mean?
I think it's other people.
Why? Because in this world, this is great catch up already. This is really good recap. In this world, it's like, because like I do vaguely remember the Bugs Life one, and it's like a fourth wall breaking. Like
Yes.
they are actors essentially.
That's right.
The bugs are actors. So in Toy Story, it goes to follow that like in all Pixar movies they are actors in the the thing. So like in Toy Story, there are humans and toys, but in that world, the toys just are, and
Yeah.
at like they are alive, and humans know that, and it's fine. Like
Yeah.
so, that's where I'm.
You should watch it. I think that you'll
It
really
doesn't.
learn something.
It also doesn't make. I think that there'd be two crews on Toy Story because you need a toy POV,
Mhm.
someone a small to do the toy scenes.
That's right.
But then there are scenes that are from like the humans,
That's right.
so a toy can't be doing that.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah,
I'm just
thank you.
saying, look at it because I think you're gonna learn. I think you're gonna learn a couple things.
Okay, I
I,
haven't watched YouTube since February probably, so I'll go back and do that
well, what
just for that.
happened? What happened in February that got you off YouTube?
Actually, it was before because the the big us taking a break started because I moved
Yeah,
across the country yet again.
you love to move.
I do.
You can't
I
get
love a
enough of it.
huge life-changing move. When things just aren't working, I shake it all out by uprooting me and mine
Yeah,
somewhere else.
the caravan, and then moving on over
Yep.
to the other side of the world.
Yep.
But you seem
Well,
to
not
be
the
liking
world,
it.
but
You seem to be liking it.
I like New York far more than LA.
That's right. And there's nothing wrong with
Not the
that.
city, to be clear.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
not the city for
I'm
LA
right, in
either.
fact. No, I didn't live in the city for LA either, you're right.
Outskirts of both.
But I lived closer geographically when I lived in California, I lived closer geographically to LA, but it probably took the same amount of fucking time to drive to places in LA as it would take me living where I do now to drive to New York City.
This is true, but also I think that you should say you live on the outskirts of LA because I don't think you really got the a true vibe of Los Angeles, California, because you're right, you living outside of it, it's hard to get into. So it's
Yeah,
like
and I wasn't driving then.
yeah.
So yeah, we
You
were
remember
stuck.
you get your hair cut and it would take forever to get over there. So
Jesus, yeah,
it's
and then
just
I
a
was like, just
different world.
shave it. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Anyway, you moved and now you're all settled in and you're having a good time. For me, I've been doing a lot of fun things too. I've been taking singing lessons.
Have we not talked about that on here?
I don't think I've ever talked about my singing lessons on here, actually.
That's wild. You should you should specify what kind because people are gonna think you're do re meing over here instead of bring. Am I right?
I am bree bree bree. I am bree
Thank
bree
you for the
bring.
laugh.
It was funny. I am bree bree bring. So I've been taking lessons from Metal Mary. She's great. Mary Z. She's got a last name that, I don't think it's a hard pronunciation of that last name. So people call her Mary Z. Anyway, she's great. And she's teaching me how to scream, like in a metalcore screaming way. And that's been going great. It's really, really fun. But she's also teaching me how to sing in a do-re-mi style fashion, which is extremely hard and extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? Humiliating. It's so hard. I would say it's absolutely the hardest thing that I've had to learn. And I'm still not good at it.
So
Screaming, I've
the actual yeah. That's
screaming,
what
I've
you've done. Screaming.
Screaming, I feel I'm competent with. I'm gonna cover. I've decided I'm gonna cover a Parkway Drive song, "Dark Days," because it's easy, classic. It's not easy, but it's classic. All screaming, no singing. I'm gonna do that. But the singing is like so hard.
Hard.
So hard. I don't understand it.
I guess screaming is more straightforward than singing.
Screaming feels like to me you're training the muscles in your throat. Well, not the muscles. I guess the muscles a little bit. But you're essentially doing, like, Metal Mary gave me really clear instructions on how to do a false chord style scream and a fry scream, and a roadmap on how those things are going to go and how long they're going to take and exercises. So she's like, do this every day. And if I just do it every day, then I learned and I can do it. Like, it's not that it's I'm not trying to say it's easy. It's not easy by any means. It's hard as fuck.
Yeah.
But as long as you do it and train your vocal folds on how to stay open or how to close all the way and things like that, it kind of makes sense. Singing though has
versus singing where like you have to like
tongue placements, and screaming has that too, but you can kind of get up and running quicker. Like tongue placements, vowels, and tone is hard. Everything's hard. And
I will never take singing lessons now. That sounds awful.
It's pretty hard. It's humiliating. And I think I also have a lot of trauma. I don't want to use the word trauma. Baggage about it, because I went to music school and I was in oral skills, which is like, it is sight singing. You sing out of a book like on solfege. And it was mortifying. And I could never match pitch. And everyone was like, you're a music major and you can't do this. And I felt really bad and I fucking hated it. So I have a lot of baggage that I had to unlearn around that. So it's hard.
Yeah, I think after doing like speaking voice lessons, I'm good on the embarrassment in front of someone else telling you to make a bunch of weird sounds with your mouth and throat.
But I
don't really care to do that.
I feel
more.
it in my core that if I don't do it, I'm gonna be upset and I'm never gonna be happy. Like, I need to sing in a metal band. I need to front a metal band in my life. There's some boxes I have to check in my life, and if I don't do this box, I'm not gonna be happy.
I think that's a big part of the recap, is that the past whatever how many months it's been, both of us have been kind of doing like box checking things, which look vastly different for each of us. But yours is like that photography stuff.
Yeah.
Like getting more into that, doing your writing stuff. In the last like month alone, you got a zine. You're working on a zine.
The zine,
and you made a Substack.
I did.
That kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I made a choice in a year ago, because that's why I made the zine. I made the zine as a 1-year zine, and I made a choice 1 year ago to start thinking of myself as an artist. It was like an intentional choice where I put that first. I'm like, fuck it, I'm an artist. And that comes with a lot of baggage that I had to unlearn, and my views. Oh my God, my little asthma. My views on art and what I value, what I think is important, what I want to do, narratives I've been telling myself. And as cringe as it is, I did do the Artist's Way book by Julia Cameron, and it was awesome. I worked through that. And
I don't think that's cringe. I feel like it's good. You're really good at doing dailies.
Yeah.
And sticking with it.
Yeah, I am.
There's nothing cringe about that, about having good.
You're right.
Whatever.
But so.
Other word for strictness.
The other thing I think I want to say is I have a lot of ups and downs with it too, especially voice. Like, I quit voice twice because I thought I realized I was never going to be Courtney from Spirit Box in a month. And that was my goal. And I was like, holding myself to this crazy standard, and I essentially quit doing it after 2 months because I was angry at myself. And then I did it again, and then I quit after about 2 months because I started doing photography really heavy, and I couldn't manage learning two things. My brain could not handle it emotionally. And now I'm back in the fold because I realize if I don't do it, I'm going to be upset for the rest of my life. So I have to do it.
Back in that vocal fold.
Yeah, that's funny. That was really good. And then the other thing is...
And that also... Oh,
what?
You go.
No, what
after your asthma. I said, you go. No, you go. I like this on the audio only format of being like, no, after you.
No, after you. This is a weird format we've never done before. Where we like share things about our actual life. I don't know how to do it.
Weird.
I'm looking at the time and I'm like, okay, I got 2 more things I want to talk about, and then I'm just gonna start talking to you.
That's fine. That's why it's two people on a podcast so we can take turns on things. Also, just as part of this, we stopped posting so much because we literally live across the country from each other now, and we've seen each other twice
Yeah,
since moving, both of which were in the last like month,
yeah,
like calendar month essentially, whatever.
yeah.
Um so I don't know why we didn't just think to do audio only in that time, but also probably cuz I just a lot going on.
Well, I actually think it has to do with. I don't want to use the word perfectionism because I think it's overused, and I'm not a perfectionist. But I am a person that wants to do everything at once. I want it to be exactly what I want before it gets put out, because I put a lot of pressure on everything that I do. So
Yeah.
I think the reason why we didn't do audio only is because I think about the outfits I want to wear and the ways I want to represent myself visually. And that was a huge part of the video part of the Corn Corner for me. And it just seems like I have an all or nothing mentality, and that doesn't serve me very well. And that's something I've been learning over the past year, is that I make a lot of really bad photos. But if I don't make those bad photos, I'm never going to make cool photos. The same thing with voice. Same thing with writing. It's hard.
It goes to the uh kind of the same idea of when I was working on one of the big things I did in the past few months was make a music video,
Yeah.
uh, which was like the first non-adult video thing I've really done, and it was also the most stressful video thing I've ever done. But at one point, you were like, "It's never gonna be perfect. You just ran out of time. Like
Yeah.
you never finish. You just ran out of time, or
Yep.
something like that."
That's the exact phrase.
And
You
that made me
never
be like,
finish, you run out of time.
"Yeah, yeah," which
Huge.
is sucks, but it's also really helpful.
Yeah.
in
You,
in the perfectionist mindset. Yeah.
I think that's one of the worst things about when you're learning something and you don't have constraints. So I think constraints are the biggest thing when you're learning something. For instance, like photography, writing, voice, all this shit that I'm trying to learn and get going. The biggest problem right now is that nobody wants it. Like nobody cares
Yeah.
about it. So I don't have any real things to do. So honestly, Castle Jackal magazine, which I feel honored to be in, I think 3 issues of or 4 issues of. I really do. But that magazine's massive for me because it's a date I have to get something done by. And
Yeah.
I want more dates. I want more deadlines with these things. I love my writing. I love the stuff I'm making, but I wish there were some stakes, and I think stakes help move us forward.
That's I feel like it's a big thing that we're both in this time off, what has been like a life reframing of like not doing stuff just for the income and doing stuff we actually care about, and
Yeah.
learning that doing stuff we actually care about does not generate income, and then finding how to make that work to maintain doing the stuff we care about. Because I don't, we're both like tired of doing stuff just for, we're tired of doing OnlyFans, just to like be blunt and
Yeah.
say that out loud, uh, which I've talked about online and stuff. So it's not like it's some secret, but uh, the the OnlyFans model of life is not it
It's just
for
exhausting.
either of us.
It's
Yeah,
it's not
like
sustainable. It's just exhausting, and I think it
it's
will.
also just not what it's not what I want to make. Like,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it will swing back around and find a home, but it's just really hard and exhausting. Um, the thing about the things I want to be known for, and it's just that's not one. You
Yeah,
know?
that's I and it's not that I'm like not wanting to make adult content because that's always going to be like peak interest for me because I love doing that. It's that I want to make adult content like when I was posting stuff on Tumblr like 12 years ago or something, and it was like about being aesthetic and artistic and
Yeah.
actually fun theme stuff and not just like here's me fucking another white dude.
Look, I think you honestly should look at fucking Substack because listen, first off, renwords.substack.com. Listen, I've got it. I've had it for 3 days at this point. But everyone should go and support me there financially. Anyway, well, actually, you can't support me there financially yet, but just do it on the Patreon. Regardless, um, you should do it.
Patreon.com/the Corn Corner.
That's right. You should do it. You should look at that thing because it looks like a Tumblr almost. You can customize it and put picture on it and you can put word on it. I think you'd like
So
it.
what I'm gonna do, I think I've wanted to link like a blog style thing to my official site, which is where you should go instead of OnlyFans, camdamage.com. Anyway, so there's like both of those ways, like so there's not just like videos and stuff I make, but also like more whatever unstructured things, and I can put the camcorder recording like home videos from the camcorder or film photos that I take on our trips when you inspire me to actually pull the camera out once every 20th time you do, like things like that.
Yeah.
uh Little ratings, whatever, maybe my memes that I make, who knows, but I do want to do more of that.
You should do it on Substack. I'm telling you. I think you'd like it. I really do.
I have to make one. I don't.
It's confusing
mean,
as fuck in the beginning, but I'm still confused to be totally transparent. But if you look at someone's that is good, you're like, oh shit, this is good. It's like a mix of
I
Instagram
subscribe
and
to
everything.
like several of them, so
Oh, you're look at you.
I'm gonna
You're in
make a
the
note.
trenches.
Well, I subscribe to 2 people, whatever, but
And I'm
you know.
also learning that there's like all these there's all these like ways to interact with other people and write on their stuff and do guest things on their stuff. I'm like, oh,
Oh, cool.
but I'm still learning it.
Well, you gotta monetize it. Make yourself hate it. Monetize it.
Yeah. Well, the big thing about like writing for me is I just don't care. I just write whatever.
What do you mean?
Like I just write whatever. Like
Yeah, it's great.
Like with photography, I care a lot and I care too much and it ruins my photos. Like my staged photos, I care too much about who I am and what I want to say. And
What is the saying? Yeah.
fucks them up. It ruins them. But with writing, I don't give a shit because I don't read very much. I don't like read for pleasure. I don't care about it.
The
So I
writing
just
things are
write.
great.
It's just funny
It's like-
because I don't care, and I think that's why.
Yeah. Yeah. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. That's what you're doing.
That's from the Book of John, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful,
My favorite.
beautiful passage. I'm gonna get that tattooed.
Yeah.
You know,
No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in.
That's right. I like your little camcorder that you got. You've been doing that a lot recently.
I'm trying to I had been doing it like I've talked about a partner. I had been doing it when visiting a partner,
Yeah.
and we do trips where we would only see each other every few months, but now we see each other a lot more regularly, and we haven't been doing the camcorder, and I'm like, we need to get back on that. Just pick
Yeah.
that little guy up and do a snippet. So I'm trying to now bring it on trips when I can, so I can record clips of stuff, and then there'll be like a home movie compilation kind of thing. But the problem is that when a really good thing like we were just in New York City with Kiss Me Deadly Doll, which longtime listeners of the pod may be familiar with.
Audio only listeners are
For
gonna
work.
love that.
Yeah. So Kiss Me Deadly Doll and her baby girl, and us all hung out, and Bobby Le Bottom and Tall Dyke, and I don't know
I don't
Tall
know
Dyke's
either.
partner's handle, and I don't want to out a name if that's not what they go by publicly, so I'm not going to say anything. But anyway, Tall Dyke bottom to
Lily was there too.
K. Oh yeah, I forgot Lily was there because Lily was probably didn't, and Zeppy was there. God, there's a lot of people there. Anyway, the point of this is that Tall Dyke bottom to uh KMDD and Baby Bethany, and it was such like a fun scene that I went through a whole tape of camcorder,
Yeah.
just recording like the whole scene basically because I was like, oh, this is good. Oh, their butt looks great.
Yeah.
Like, so I need to be more precious with what I record. Like, just say like I'm going to do 60 seconds of this thing and then not overdo it.
Is it hard to get that stuff on the computer?
You just plug it in.
Oh, and like record
there's
it.
things that hook up with. Yeah, you do screen recording.
Okay.
So you plug it in, play it on the computer screen, and screen record. And then I take that, like the screen recording, and then I'll like I can burn it to a DVD or just make it a video, whatever.
Put it on a laser
But
disc.
also, yeah, I have the option now of recording it to a VHS tape. Like just plug the camcorder into the TV and record a VHS tape. So,
and all 6 people that have VHS players can watch it.
Well, that's like good, frankly, because that's fun.
Yeah,
like
it is.
I want. We talked about this when we Brooklyn. What a fucking sentence that was. That zine shop in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
How I want to make VHS tapes like a limited amount and just like hand one to someone like an adult or like leave them in adult only places where a child could never find it depending on what is on the tape.
Never.
And just do that, and like that's fun.
It is fun. I think I support it. I think you should do it. You know what I mean?
Sorry, there's a puppy over here. One of the updates for me is that we got another dog, a third dog, and today's day 3, and what an angel he is.
He's really good. He's really a good baby, isn't he?
He's so cute right now. Rolled up in a little cinnamon ball. This doesn't do anything for the audio only format of this. Anyway.
Yeah. Audio only listeners, what's happening right now is the dog is being cute. And everyone can relate to that because everybody knows what a dog is.
You say audio only listeners as if this is the only option. Like we are moving forward with the Corn Corner as a podcast like it's meant to be consumed, which is via audio and not putting on YouTube. So
we are putting it on YouTube.
No, not putting it not like people are one of the methods of people like top methods. I feel like before the Corn Corner was like you're supposed to go on YouTube and watch the video.
Yes.
And like Spotify was an afterthought. Or whatever. Wherever you consume your podcast was an afterthought. But now the forethought is the Spotify, whatever the hell else, Apple.
I think that
whatever.
That was just us because with our statistics, we have equal viewership across audio only and YouTube. Sometimes YouTube goes higher if it gets hit in the algorithm, like the latex one. That one blew up because it's a salacious thing to have 2 people in full body latex. But anyway, I think that was just us. We
should do audio only latex episodes.
That's so funny. We're doing one right now, everybody. Y'all love it, right?
And start talking like, oh, this hoodie is so tight.
Right? It's so good.
Amazing.
What else did we do? Did we do other things?
Well,
I had this huge
we've been doing.
I should talk about my huge shoot that's going to be in Castle Jackal issue 6. It was just a lot of work.
The melty.
Yes, the melty person. Shout out to Corn Corner fan Genevieve. She was a huge part of it. She art directed the whole thing. Amazing. And also other people that were equally amazing. But God, it was a lot. And so that happened, but then I had to take like a massive break after from shooting.
Why was it a lot? If you care to talk about it.
It's just a lot of logistics. It rained. There's just a lot of stuff to make happen via favors,
You're
which is
saying
always
also you're
hard.
saying this like the shoot, which you should get Castle Jackal magazine issue 6, so you can actually see the photo before it's like posted online and stuff.
Yeah,
You can pre-order it now if you search.
you can.
Go to castlejackal.com and go to the shop. Anyway, actually, I don't know when this is being posted. Maybe you can still pre-order it. Maybe you can just order it.
It's
We'll
gonna be
see.
posted in like
But
2 days.
oh, okay, cool. So yeah, go pre-order it. The shoot was outdoors, so
It
that's why
was.
it raining is a problem. And there was
It
like
was also cold.
you had to. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, it was there's a makeup person. There's like a person. There's extras
Yeah.
like the
There's a lot of
in the
moving parts.
picture.
We did like a prosthetic
Yeah.
makeup. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of um people it was just a lot of stuff, and it kept getting bigger and bigger, and that's fine. But it was a lot of work.
Did you learn that you want to approach things differently next time?
Well,
You
you know
want to
what
do
the
a high
funniest
like
part?
a
You know what I learned? The funniest thing that I learned
huh.
from the whole thing is that I was so concerned about everything except for Susanna the model. I didn't
Oh,
care about her
woof.
at all. I gave her some of the worst direction I think somebody could ever give. I said things like there were little moments where I was happy about the stuff that I said, and we got some real gold. But I would say overall, my direction was abysmal. It was things like, you're really hot, which isn't actionable. You can't,
And you mean warm, like you are warm physically, temperature wise, not like you're so hot attractive.
yeah, like I meant like, yeah, exactly. Like you're melting in the
Yeah,
sun. The day's so hot.
yeah.
Act like you're
It's
really
like no shit.
melting in the sun, which is it's just not
Yeah,
it's not actionable. You can't do anything with that information as an actor or a model. Versus saying
yeah.
something like like we had a great back and forth when I was saying like, "Mom, shouldn't you come in? You look kind of sick." She's like, "I'm fine." And that was awesome back and forth because there was narrative around it got us to the result of you seem hot like you're melting in the sun,
Yeah.
but we used things like a concern, like you can play something actionable as playing off of my concern for my mother and her saying she's okay. But
Yeah.
me just saying, act like you're melting in the sun isn't real. It's not, you can't do anything with that. So that was the thing I
So
learned.
like shoots after that, do you think that you're like the shoot with Lily, who we have spoke of already on this podcast? That's like one of my in your non-street photography photo work, which I guess technically that's kind of street photography, but it was a, whatever, a produced one. That's like one of my favorite of Lily outside the church
Yeah.
thing. So did you like learn like did you feel
Well,
more confident directing that?
we're talking about the photo I made of Lily, and she's in front of the church with a suitcase of money, and the money's coming out, and she looks kind of frantic in front of the church. And that was before the melty person shoot. The
Oh,
melty person shoot
I didn't realize that.
started a little break for me. But no, with Lily, I gave piss poor direction as well. I told Lily, act
Amazing.
frantic, act scared, act like you see the hitman coming and you're afraid. It's not, none of these things are actionable, right? So I'm lucky as a photographer that Lily is a great model and she gave me what she gave me. But in
Yeah.
actuality, I gave her nothing. I gave her confusing direction. You're scared. The fuck does that even mean? It doesn't mean anything. So
Yeah, like
like,
what on the scared wheel? Which type of scared?
yeah, exactly. So instead, it could have been more actionable direction, right? And I look back at everything that I did. That was the biggest thing I learned from doing the Melty shoot. Even the ways I talked to, like Genevieve, like art directing, like was like, oh, I really gave nonsense. I could have given more actionable information. Like
Have
I
you done a
was
big shoot since then?
no, I haven't really shot anything since then. But I
Well,
like
I mean, you're doing your
traveled
street photography constantly, but yeah,
street.
yeah.
Yeah, street feels different. But no, I haven't really shot anything since. But I am. My main issue is I was traveling and I mean, well, I guess I did some stuff. I shot some stuff for Call Me Masha, who she makes corsets that are really cool. And I shot
Okay.
stuff there for that. So I've done some shoots, but
Well, just this past trip, you did that?
I did that in Seattle at the farm
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh,
with the
those are
Sprite
so
can.
the ones that are yeah, there's some of those in the zine.
Yeah. And that stuff's easy
Yeah.
because I can think about the character I want to be. And I
Yeah.
can
You don't have to give direction to someone else, you just do.
yeah, I'm like, I know the character I want to be and I can act that character. But yeah, telling someone, taking the movie out of my head and putting it into the other person's is extremely difficult. But I had
What
what?
that brings up I'm sorry, you keep going
No,
and then
you're
I'll do
good.
my thing.
No. What are you going
I
to
was
say?
gonna say it brings up taking the movie out of your head and putting it in a thing. A thing that I don't know if you want to talk about it, but you wrote you wrote a little mini part of a script, like a scene from a script for a hypothetical movie you want to
Yeah.
write that then I get to star in, which I'm sure is not a friendship nepotism situation at all.
No, no,
Uh,
no. Yeah, I
um,
want to do
and I
something.
think that's fun. Yeah,
Oh, so this is actually good. So would
that's a cool new thing.
yeah, I think that'd be really
Go.
cool. Um
Yeah.
I did take my lessons via the shoots and apply them to our first rehearsal with that.
Our table read.
Yes, our table, if you will. Yeah, I want to it'd be cool to do that. We're still a little ways away,
Yeah,
but it's kind of the thing where we have a bunch of resources and I'm like, we should use these things. You, other stuff.
and
So,
also yeah, I feel like that's the one. If we ever were people to crowdfund a thing, that would be the thing to do.
that'd be it.
Uh, yeah.
Maybe
Which
I'll
now everyone keep your eyes peeled.
keep your eyes peeled. Keep the little notifications on.
Keep your wallets open. We're trying to make a non-adult movie.
Hey, that's what the people got to do. What else is going on? Have you had any fun foods? You're fully well. No, you were fully vegan then. You still are.
Yeah.
You're eating tofu
Yeah,
plain
yeah.
these days.
I've been all the time, honestly. Or I don't cook it. I just like I'm like, well, I feel like it's been over a year that I've been vegan, right?
That's great.
Yeah. Yes.
I think it's been
Yeah.
about that.
I've only broke vegan edge on one trip, and it was necessitated by the events preceding said trip of a close friend's death, and I wasn't gonna show up at
Yeah.
our other friend's house and be like, by the way,
All of a sudden,
I know we're all ordering pizza tonight, and everyone's bawling while they're eating this,
yeah,
but I need to get vegan.
yeah. It's hard in the beginning because you got to get everyone up to speed.
Yeah, and also it's just like I mean, that was only that was like halfway and 6 months in or something. But also I'm not going to be an asshole. Like I'm not going to show up somewhere where everyone's doing communal things and be like, not me. I'll be over here with what, or like make everyone change the plan. Like
Yeah.
we can't get Pizza Hut, No,
Yeah,
I'll just eat the fucking cheese.
yeah. It's kind of. I have a good vegan friend, and I was saying stuff, and she was like, "It's impossible to be perfect. Like you can't. Like sometimes you just
Yeah,
can't." If you,
that's that, and I'm like I'm referring to like veganism as like quitting animal products, but I'm off the sauce. But I quit smoking cigarettes, and now I haven't vaped in almost 4 weeks.
You know,
in
we're
like
just in New
2
York,
days.
and I
Yeah.
noticed that you didn't have that stupid little vape in your hand once, and you
Yeah.
didn't. I was thinking 'cause someone asked us for a lighter, and you didn't
Yeah.
have one. I was like, that's so great.
Yeah.
That's so
I
great.
quit smoking cigarettes long before I quit vaping,
Yeah.
and the only time that I smoked was at a funeral, and it was only like 2, and that was like it since I quit in November of last year. Uh, but then I was vaping, so did I really quit, you know? But I quit vaping when I went to Pennsylvania for my niece, who was on an episode of The Corn Corner,
You gotta do it for your
her
niece.
high school graduation. Yeah, she hasn't quit yet, but hopefully she will.
She will. She's gonna learn from you, and she's gonna realize that that's really the equivalent of, you know, Satan's smoke in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
as they say.
It
Yeah,
ain't cool to do, people, especially for
I
nieces.
miss
It's
nicotine
not
though.
cool. No, you don't.
Yeah,
No, you don't. You
definitely
don't miss
not.
it. You don't miss it. I do
But
hear
also the
it's one of
fucked
the
up thing is
hardest.
that I'm
Hmm?
yeah, it is the hardest thing. Well, I say that's the hardest thing, but now I want to like not necessarily like quit sugar, but like eat way less sugar.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's gonna be awful.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is all that stuff saying how sugar is reprogramming our brains and things of that nature. It's hard.
Yeah. We have the same response to it as we do to some drugs.
Where are your big sugar intakes from?
When I'm home, I don't think it's that bad. It's
Yeah.
like when like we were just in New York together and I had to not every morning going and getting the tasty latte, my
Yeah.
favorite thing to do when I travel.
Yeah.
I had to not get a baked good every time
My
or like go to
strategy,
Van Leeuwen every fucking night.
I know. My strategy with traveling is, and I'm not saying this is healthy, but what I do is if I'm going to be gone for 7 days, the first 5, I try not to buy anything other than utilitarian food. So I don't do the
But
fun
what if
stuff.
everyone goes out to dinner?
Then I get,
Yeah, you do. You,
no, I go to dinner, but I try to eat lunch at home. I try to eat breakfast at home. I
yeah.
don't get the Van Leeuwen after dinner.
Yeah.
I
You
tr-
also got a small, like the first night we went out to dinner, you got a hot dog.
Yep. I try to
Yeah.
really hold it down. I try to really like stay small. Not small like weight wise, like small like footprint wise.
No, no.
The first night if you go
Yeah.
out and you get everything under the sun, it's hard to reel that back in on the trip.
Yeah.
So then the
I
last 2
was
days,
just letting myself really go for it.
it's okay. It's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying that's what I do. And then the last 2 days, I loosen the grip a bit, and I'll get some other stuff.
Loosen the purse strings, as they
Yeah.
say.
I got Van Leeuwen, but I was like, if I get Van Leeuwen day 2, I'm gonna want it day 7. So I would just save it for then.
I think I only got a 3 out of the 7 nights I was there, so that's a win for me.
It is a win. It is a win.
Although the one time the cute worker person was like, "Weren't you just here?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Shut up."
She gave me so many samples, like the biggest
Yeah.
scoops. I was like, I don't even want ice cream anymore. This is like so much ice cream I just had. But
Yeah. That's what you get for being a regular. You're welcome.
thanks for doing that for me. Well, listen, when you look back at the past couple months, what's the biggest thing that you missed about the Corn Corner?
Uh, I miss. I do and I don't, but I miss going to your place and doing our little sleeping on floor bed.
Yep.
And setting up and just absolutely driving ourselves into the ground recording like 6 podcast episodes in 2 days because we had to get it because I lived in the middle of nowhere outside of LA.
We just do
and couldn't
stuff.
get to you, which also Yeah.
It's just hard because you go travel, we
Also,
go do shit. Hmm?
that's a big development of is that I drive now, which I feel like if you're a longtime listener, you know I wasn't driving for like 7 years,
Yeah.
but now I do drive again. So we're in a not midlife. I don't know how long we're gonna live, but we're in a little renaissance period, both of us, where we're
It's
like
absolutely
reframing
not
things.
midlife. We're so young.
Okay,
Mi-
quarter life. I don't know. I don't know.
yes, it's like
I don't
quarter.
mean because people usually say midlife crisis, but that's like in their 40s. But
Yeah, we're not
whatever.
even close.
And
It's
also,
like,
it's good.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're redoing the things that we want in life and we can have them all.
hopefully.
Well, we will. Um, I suppose one of the things that we should do in wrapping up this episode, besides tell everybody to go to the Patreon and also thank the people that are supporting us via the Patreon and supported us via our recharge period. Thank you so much. Is that we
Yeah, which
should
is patreon.com/the corn corner. You got to say the URL when you talk about it. People just are just going to say Patreon. They don't know where to go. Patreon.com/the corn corner. Okay,
that's right.
anyway, keep going.
Well, okay, so sometimes you're shocked.
Oh, I thought you were like, I thought you were doing a bigger wrap up than that. We're just going right to the outro.
I guess thanks everyone for listening. What else is there to say? It was a great
I don't,
podcast. I thought it was fun.
embr- embrace. Yeah, good. Thank you. Did I do good?
Embrace
Tell me I did
what?
good. Change.
I thought you did good. It's a very good job.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
all right.
Uh,
Well, look, if you're shucked or if you're creamed,
it doesn't matter what kind of corn you are.
just make sure that you're
A kind
kind
corn
corn.
and
And
release your inhibitions. Feel it around your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else. No one else.
well, people, thank you
The
so
rest is
much
still
for
unwritten.
listening. And make sure that you check out the Corn Corner. All right. Bye bye.